Here's the thing. The beauty about Bitcoin, the beauty about crypto, the beauty about decentralization is the fact that you own all of it.
Some cryptos, they come out and they portray that they got some sort of utility in some sort of case, right? Okay, why that?
Because most of it is bullshit. Most people are lying. A lot of the things inside of crypto, they're scams. The teams, they're fraudulent.
The president of the United States is endorsing Bitcoin.
I think Donald Trump realizes that
people who become multimillionaires through crypto, they don't know what it takes to have hard work and dedication and go through the sacrifice and the struggle.
I mean, who cares? If you made the money, you made the money. You're an idiot if you lose the money.
So if I was to put, let's just say 20K into my account right now for crypto.
So for this bull run, I would say put 50% right away and probably put 5 in.
What would you do to preserve it exactly?
Keep it in Bitcoin.
You would just keep it there? You wouldn't invest it in other businesses or anything like that?
I'm in my 20s. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars. I'm not an idiot. Maybe I know something that you don't. I understand that what I need is to own my assets. But my understanding of wealth preservation is Bitcoin, dude. I'm in the conversations with the guys that literally run the world and run the internet. They all fuck with Bitcoin. I understand it.
Luke, good to have you on, my brother. How you doing?
Glad to be here in the UK. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to be in the studio for once, man. We done this last time in Dubai.
This is nice, bro. Yeah. You're like, hey, this is my office. I come here. It's your man cave. You got it set up for success, bro. Good vibes.
Gotta be done, bro. Gotta be done. I've just got to start off this question with one question, bro. And that is why? Why do you do the things you do? And why do you put out the messages that you put out? What's your mission statement?
To inspire people to find their fullest potential.
Yeah.
Most people don't understand that they're operating on less than 5% of their potential. All they need to do is have a realization. And sometimes unlocking data sets or other people giving them information is just another stepping stone to their success. There's so much negative content out there. You never go and ask Cardi B or these type of celebrities, why is it that you make the content that you make? No, they are a reflection of who they are as individuals.
Yep.
So I'm just talking about the things that you and I are going to enjoy talking about today. We're not talking about things that we don't enjoy. And thankfully, nowadays, you get to record these things and people get to enjoy them. I mean, had somebody come up with the idea of podcasting when there was like TV stations, it would have been a thing. People would have watched it. You had late night shows and things of this nature. This would be your own version of that same thing, but millions of people can watch it. So might as well talk about something that inspires people to find their fullest potential. So
speaking of fullest potential, do you think, and this is almost a conspiracy theory that I've got, that the Matrix as we know it, and we'll get onto this later on in the podcast, deep in talking about the Matrix, but do you think they mute the idea of people wanting to unlock the fullest potential?
I mean, just think about the school system. You go into the school system, the moment you interact with the teacher, they tell you that in order for you to be approved or in good standing, you have to obey without questioning. You have to raise your hand to talk. You're a kid, but you have to sit there for 6-7 hours a day, acting like you give a fuck. You have to ask for permission to take a piss. All of these things are conditioning you to what? A specific mold, a specific structure. It's what I like to call the hamster wheel, right? The hamster wheel is the illusion of progress. So you go through these 12 years of education, but how do you know that what you're taught about history is correct? How do you know that what you're taught about finances is correct? For all I know, when I look at the professors in universities with PhDs and degrees, I look at their bank account and I'm like, these people were never taught the essentials like budgeting or financial planning or financial literacy. Back in the day, if you wanted to be part of the elite, it was the time where the church really was in union with the state. And the church had the power. The priest would be the middleman to God.
Yep.
Via what? Latin, because that's how the Bible was written. It was written in Latin, Aramaic. So the people that spoke peasant English, they couldn't read the Bible. So they would have to go to this individual, this middleman, right? Today we have middlemans, we have banks, we have governments. But back then you would have the middleman of what? Of religion. But then the Bible was printed in English, and then there was persecution now because the middleman was cut out. And remember, the middleman was charging a fee, indulgences, in order for you to get into heaven. So the middleman had intentions. Today, it's the same thing. There's middlemen that want to condition individuals to operate as slaves. Why wouldn't a society or the elites want highly productive NPCs? In fact, they realized that the best and most productive NPCs weren't the ones that were out being whipped and enslaved because they didn't perform with good morale. They're like, what if we deceive them with this piece of paper we call the dollar that we print out of thin air?
Yeah.
And we just tell them that this is the most important thing in the world. Go watch some interviews where they ask children, what is the most important thing to you? What is your goal? To be rich, to become a millionaire? Like all this money conditioning programming is conditioned from the moment you're born, and it's absolutely destroying society. And we just see it by the byproduct of how people work. People are not operating at their optimum. They're not optimal in how they think and how they study and how they operate with their health. They need to get sick in order for them to consider any sort of health. They need to go broke in order for them to consider money. They need to go through really bad relationships in order to consider celibacy or sexual purity. Like they have to go through fuck ups. And you don't have to have that. You can actually go through the process of learning proper. And what I've come to find out is that the system is designed to rig the players. The system is created by individuals. The tax code is written by people. Those people have intentions. It's obvious. The question is, what are the rules of the game? If I ask you, hey, what are some of the tax benefits that you can have here in the UK? You might list a couple here and there. But the people that are actually cracking the code, right, are the people that are studying the game. So they don't want the peasants learning the rules of the game. Back in the day, Wall Street was a place where, hey, that's where you made money, right? And now crypto rolled around and it was kind of like this digital version of Wall Street where you saw all the peasants getting rich.
Yep.
And the government's like, no, we can't have that happen.
Well, even before crypto, the stock market as well.
Exactly. And they were freezing it.
Yeah.
We can't have the peasants making money. We can't have the peasants making money for free. That we do that, not them. Mm-hmm. They work. Mm-hmm. So that's the scam. The scam is that your life is all about work. The scam is that everything is about the 9 to 5. Everything is about the dollar. Everything is about the money. And it's not the way. It's not the case. It's not reality. And once you live based off of those principles and those values, then what you're living under is the principles and values of other people. I told people, some buddies recently, hey, I've been able to make an insurmountable amount of money, more money than I would spend in my entire life. I think I'm going to chill for a couple years. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to work on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to travel different countries and learn different cultures. Maybe I just want to do that for a bit. And they couldn't comprehend the fact that productivity is attached to labor instead of just enjoying life. And what I've come to realize is that's all conditioning. That's all preset programming designed to keep you in the 9 to 5, designed to keep you in the work slave mindset. Because there's more to life than work. Mm-hmm. There's more to life than business. There's more to life than entrepreneurship. There's more to life than trading cryptos, right? So once you make money, the purpose of money is what? Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
And with the freedom, you get to enjoy things. So most people, I ask them, hey, why are you working for money? Oh, well, because I need to pay my bills or I have... Okay, well, but why? Why do you want money? What is money? They don't even know what money is. People are out here working a 9 to 5. Okay, right now, definition. What is money? Define it. What is money?
People are just working to pay the bills and get by rather than actually chasing the freedom and things they want.
But it is, what is money? You go in, you give your time, your energy, your attention towards a task, and you get paid. What is that worth? What is those 15 pounds that you're getting for that hour worth?
Your time?
No, not your time. What is it worth? Where does it come from? Who gives that thing value? It has no value. That money isn't real. So what you need to do is you need to create money. And you create money by elevating the way that you think about finances, the way that you think about business, the way that you think about working. You don't work in order to get a paycheck. You work in order to build things that create money. We'll talk about that later. The entire premise, back to your point, is the system intentionally designing traps all over us to ensnare us and keep us down? 100%. School system, finances, food, music, all around. The people that observe it and are aware, they realize it. The people that are addicted, right, or part of the system or on the hamster wheel, they don't see it.
Yeah.
Whether you see it or not is irrelevant, but it's happening.
How old are you now, Luke?
29.
So 29 years old, we don't grow up thinking there's a matrix. We're not 13 years old thinking, oh my God, the matrix is after us and there is a matrix controlling us. So when was your first encounter with this, and how did you discover it in the first place? And what was your response to it at the time?
I mean, how were you in school?
You start school.
But were you like good in school, average?
Oh, how was I in school?
Yeah,
I was good. I was average. Yeah.
How many people in your school right now that are like top A students, do you know where they are in life?
I was never part of that friendship group, so I haven't got a clue where they are. But I mean, they're probably doing well in whatever fields they're in. I know there was probably a couple of dentists and a couple of doctors, but I mean, other than that, I don't really know what they're doing specifically. In terms of the people that I know that done well, I suppose they're getting their way through life.
And what's their background? Because when I look at the background of the people that are winning, I look at one factor above all factors: their ability to incur massive risk and sustain massive levels of stress. These are the two differentiating factors between super successful people and unsuccessful people. And what I've come to realize is the people that are highly educated, just with literacy of the books or the schools and the degrees, and have more degrees than a thermostat, aren't necessarily conditioned for the real world, aren't necessarily conditioned for the business world, aren't necessarily conditioned to go eye to eye with competition.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I'm just curious. The reason I ask is because I was still thinking about the whole school system. I don't know how it works here. I don't know if it's the same as the US.
How's the US? I'll tell you how it is.
12 years of school.
Yep.
And you have your basic things, your math classes, all general stuff, history, but nothing specific. You have an hour of break a day.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the same
basically
thing
like
here.
UK, you pretty much have, you start off in year one, which is your, I suppose, kindergarten, I think, in America. And then it works all the way up until year 12, i.e. college or sixth form, right? And that's where you do your pre-studies for university. And that's ideally your final destination for study, which is university, which is what we've been taught our whole lives, especially from ethnic backgrounds, that we must go to university, we must get degrees, we must do this, that. The government pushes it on us a lot to get to university degrees, even with things like if you want to work in the NHS or you want to be some sort of doctor or anything, there are things in place that they allow you to have free degrees, so you don't have to pay. But usually it once started off, I think it was £1,500 for the whole degree, or the whole year, sorry. Then it went to £3,000 for the year, and now it currently is at £9,000 a year for university. Average is about 3-4 years, so you're already around £45,000 in debt before you even get your job and before you even finish your degree. So that's how it works here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Cheaper than the US though, for most places. Yeah, no, the US, $9,000 a year is community college, but people are paying up to 40, 50, 60,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
You know the ones you always see on TV and films, yeah, Harvard University. How much does that cost?
I'm not sure, but probably 50, 60, somewhere along those lines.
Yearly.
Yeah, it's crazy. But once again, why do you go to university? Are you going just because of the degree? Are you going because you are actually going to learn something and you're going to develop? Are you going because you're networking? So it all comes down to ROI. That's what people don't seem to understand. It's not that college is bad. It's not that you're not going to learn anything. It's what are you doing with those 4 fucking years that are your prime life to set yourself up for success? Like your 20s are your building blocks, dude. People are waking up at 30 and 40 and like, oh shit, dude. Like I got years to make up right now. I got work to do. But had they told you in university that after you graduate, you're going into the real world, dude, you're just getting started. You just had 4 years of getting specialized or fucking around, depending on who you are. Most people fuck around.
Yep.
And you haven't positioned yourself. We see nowadays one of the most important things for positioning for yourself, long-term success, is financial freedom. Dude, once you have financial freedom, you can learn whatever you want. You have the time and freedom to do whatever you want. Most people are not able to delay their passions and their gratifications. And then most people are not willing to change their dreams based off of the conditions of the things that are taking place. Just because you wanted to be a doctor, because that's what you thought you wanted to be, because your parents told you that that's what you were supposed to be all these years, doesn't necessarily mean that once you try it and you're in year 3 of medicine, you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. And you say, okay, I'm going to quit. I'm going to go back to doing something that I enjoy. Most people are like, no, this is the career path that I chose. This is the hamster wheel that I'm on. And this is the path of false illusion of success and growth that I'm going to lay on. And most people do that. You have to break free from that. And university is not bad. No issue with Harvard, no issue with Yale, no issue with any of these institutions. But if it's just about education, you can practically learn most things online.
Now you can.
If it's about back then, yes. But if it's about networking, relationships, clubs, access, some of these prestigious universities are still a great place to go. Absolutely. Why not? You still need relationships. You still need connections. You still need human interaction. So learning is not necessarily the most important part about university today. Now you add in the introduction of AI, university banning AI. Like, why the fuck are you banning AI? You should be figuring out how to incorporate AI into every aspect of everything that you're doing right now in every class, because it's the future. So that shows you where their mindset is, oh, this is what? Danger to our business. Because university is a business. It's a very lucrative one, and most of them are nonprofit, right? Tax-free.
So they say.
Or so they say. It's a profitable business. The point is, AI right now is going to disrupt university. So how we think about university is going to change very quickly, very soon. As of right now, if you have a university degree of the top universities in the world, it'll still open up doors. It'll still open up opportunity. It's all about whether you want to invest those 4 years into specializing on something that you don't know whether it'll be around in the future or not. For example, accounting. What type of accounting will humans do in 50 years, 40 years,
AI
30 years? AI is already doing most of it.
Yeah.
So is that job something that we need to focus tens of thousands of people on? Potentially not. So if that's your specialty, now maybe you need to figure out, maybe you don't leave that job. Maybe you have to incorporate AI into it in order to survive. So we're going to see a big shift from what we think of education nowadays towards a more broad understanding of just getting educated, getting experience so that you can compete in the marketplace.
I'm going to come to the career section in a second, right? But just to understand more the UK and the US educational system and the university systems. In the US, when you want to go to university, do you get to choose whichever university you want to go, or does it depend on the grades that you get in the school?
You have more freedom. You have more freedom. They care about the paycheck. There's certain universities that you need certain curriculums, degrees, grades, accolades in order to increase your chances of success, or just be of a different race besides white, and then you'll increase your odds of winning. Okay, that's how it works in the US.
Fair. So in the UK, it's somewhat similar, but I want to say more or less 90% or 99% of universities that you go to, you have to apply for it through the grades that you get in the school education before. So your likes of the bait ones like Oxford, Cambridge, or Brunel, for example, you have to be at the top echelon of grades for you to be even getting in there, right? And, coming back to your point on networking, if you're going to these universities, great. You'll probably find a great network there. But I want to say the majority of the public, the majority of students nowadays as well, haven't got the best of grades purely because there's too much distractions going on TikTok and YouTube, etc., all that sort of stuff, right? And so then they come out of grades lower than that, and then they end up going to universities that are much lower of a standard. And then you find the type of people that go there are, I wouldn't say not necessarily the ones you want to network with, but not necessarily the ones you would want to do business with or something like that, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, I didn't get the best of grades in school, and I went to a university in South London, and that wasn't the greatest of experiences. Just because the type of people that are there, the type of teaching that is, it's not the greatest thing. So I think the career, the network side of things is great if you're going to university, but at the same time as well,
it depends on which university. Yeah, absolutely.
So with the careers, as we're talking about AI, accounting being an example there, what would you say are future careers that people should be looking into right now that are going to be booming in the next 10 to 15 years?
I mean, anything that has to do with AI prompt engineering and on things that currently exist, it's about figuring out what is never going to change in human nature. And what are the things that AI can't replace? And you want to position yourself because the things that AI can't replace will have a premium. So I focus right now on things that have to do with human interaction and people, right? So with Capital Club, for example, we get together every couple weeks in different places of the world. We're getting together here in London. I think there's about 75 entrepreneurs from all over the world flying in at a private club. That has a lot of value because people meet online, but then they cement relationships in person. Is this going to be disrupted by AI in the near future? No. In fact, people are going to crave real interactions because you don't know what is going to be real or what's going to be fake online in the next 20 years.
Yep.
Half of the articles right now that we see popping out are already written by AI.
Yep.
Half of the scripts that the YouTubers use, they're using AI prompts to help them. So how much of it is actual real original thought? Not a lot. People are going to crave human attention, human interaction, authenticity. So that's the area that I'm focused on. Anything that has to do with services, I think physical services are going to absolutely boom. If you can incorporate AI to facilitate your ability to work, I think you're crushing. Electricians, plumbers, landscaping, they're going to do extremely well. I don't see AI replacing them. I see all these robotics now enhancing the job and enhancing the experience and facilitating the ability to monopolize bigger markets. So for the people that have soft skills and understand human interaction and aren't robots, they're going to be harder to replace. If you are accounting, right? If you are math, certain sciences, you're going to enter a situation whereby you're going to be competing with the most intelligent computer in the world for answers. People go to the doctor for what? Answers. What if I just submit myself to an entire body scan, have an AI read everything about me and tell me what is right, what is wrong? What are people going to trust more? Where's the accuracy?
Yeah.
The second leading cause of death in the United States is medical malpractice. So medical malpractice is one of the biggest causes of death in the United States. So this is a real concern. It's not that it's imaginary. Like, it's the numbers. They aren't human error is real. I just saw a commercial of, not a commercial, I saw a video, a guy driving to Taco Bell, full automation, right? You click a button, you get your meal, you go forward, hits a tube, the tube comes down, no interaction with people, you get your food and you dip.
Yep.
The only guy that's working is the guy that's making the food back in the back.
Yeah.
One day that person will be replaced. But look how many people have been removed from the process. I could run a fast food place with a couple people. I've cut out a ton of jobs. So those people are without jobs because they need skills that are irreplaceable, which is one of the keys to making money. I talk about it in other places. But that to me is what people need to be thinking about. Irreplaceability.
There's a rare set of people like yourself, right? And I've been fortunate enough to interview some of them, people that come to my mind straight away, people like Andrew Tate, Iman Gaji. Obviously, we've met before and we've had conversations before, which is sweet as well. And everyone's got different backgrounds. So I want to use this time to kind of understand Luke Belmar as a kid, your upbringing, and what was life like for you well, you grew up in Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it like there?
I mean, yeah, farm town in Argentina. Thankfully, my parents let me go or put me in English school, so I was able to develop my English language, my English skills. So in the morning time, we would go to English school. In the evening time, we would go to Spanish school. So developed there. Age of 16, $200 in a suitcase. Came to the United States. Started pressure washing basketball courts, flipping pizzas, flipping Buffalo Wild Wings. Doing anything that I could to make money. The year's 2016, and I'm waiting tables. I'm working in Washington, D.C., and this is when people are looking at Robinhood, the application, and they're like, whoa, now the normies can trade and play this thing. This thing looks fun.
Yep.
And this guy is telling me about the stock market and day trading. And then he mentions Bitcoin. And he's like, yeah, there's this thing called Bitcoin, digital money, whatever. You should buy some. $588. So I buy my first Bitcoin. I didn't think about it much.
Did you buy the full Bitcoin?
Yeah, it was like 2.5, maybe 3 Bitcoin, something along that line.
Okay, yep.
It was a couple $1,000s on a credit card. Wasn't much. The point is, it got me into the digital space. I started studying Bitcoin. I experienced the first bull run of 2017, 2018. My portfolio did 160x. I lost it all. I was like, whoa. Okay, so I had some money. I was working a job. I put it into crypto. I had some clients. I was starting to build some momentum. And I did well with this crypto thing. Maybe it'll happen again. But I need a new avenue to make money.
Okay, so quick question. Sorry to cut you off there, but was you studying Bitcoin and what it's going to do, or was it by luck?
It was merely thinking about, hey, this thing is going to do well. It's going to make money, decentralized, hodl. The first cycle nerd, right? The guy that sees it, understands that it's cool, but doesn't understand it. They see it, but they don't understand it. They want to participate. Most people last one cycle because they're really uninterested. If you last a second cycle, you get seasoned. And if you last a third cycle, I think that that's where the opportunity lies. So during the first cycle, I got wrecked. At the top, I pulled a loan from the bank. Terrible, right? And I was
to put money into crypto?
Put money into crypto.
Yep.
But this was at the top. And I was like, fuck, like this is terrible. I need to make more money. So at the time I was flipping Instagram pages, was running ads on Facebook for different clients. I was like, you know what? I need to expand my horizons. And I started considering e-commerce. 2019, get into e-commerce. Do 8 figures in sales. I was selling essential products and home goods. During COVID, it took off because everybody was focused on what? Sanitation and cleanliness. So I started selling sanitation products. But then all the advertising platforms, they shut down all the sanitation products because people were price gouging. They were taking it, buy low, sell high.
Yep.
Social media platforms didn't like that. So I said, let me repurpose my products and sell them to dogs. So now we're selling sanitation products and household products without talking about, COVID or things of this nature that were not allowed. Did 8 figures, grabbed all the profits except $10,000. And in the COVID March crash, we put all of our money into crypto.
I remember that. I think it was around $4,000, $5,000 Bitcoin.
No, I didn't buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin wasn't my main purchase. My main purchase was ETH.
Oh, really?
ETH was $100, something along.
Why ETH and why not Bitcoin? If you had made 8 figures, took the profits, and
because I just experienced the bull run that ETH absolutely took over.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are the multiples? The multiples, I was looking at $100 ETH, super cheap. It had gone up to 1,000 or 1,500. I was thinking 15x. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And it did a 40x. It was crazy.
That's mad.
40x? I think it was a 40x.
Something
from
like
1,000 to 4,000 change.
Yeah.
From 100 to 4,000.
Yeah.
That was the bull run. So was able to capitalize on that, did extremely well, and made my money in investments. So took some investments, made money in crypto, got into private equity, invested in some deals. And then I decided to reopen Capital Club, which I had opened up in 2019. And then I decided to open it for more entrepreneurs. And I was like, hey, you know what? In order to attract entrepreneurs, I guess I got to make some content. So I started making some videos on the internet, and here we are today. But mostly in crypto, man. Just really enjoying my time, seeing Bitcoin become normalized, and just being a guy that was able to make it out of the trenches because of the digital gold rush that we're in.
Yeah, I think the first video I come across of you when you were making content is Luke Belmar visits Andrew Tate in Romania. Was that the title of the vlog, I think?
I think so. That was 2 years ago almost.
Yeah. So that was
a while ago.
Times. I'd probably come across you before that as well, but that was probably the main thing that actually took off alongside Andrew Tate's rise to fame as well and stuff like that as well. Yeah,
he had just gotten canceled, so I went out and visited him.
Yeah.
And they're great people, bro.
Yeah,
they're great people, and I mean, it's been so long. It's been 2 years, so hopefully they get out extremely soon.
I saw some news that I think Romania have dropped the case and they're free to leave, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I haven't kept too much on of it.
But hopefully
we'll see what's what. So you opened Capital Club in 2019. This is before your ecom store and before you invested into...
This was during the success of ecom.
Okay.
But then the bull run rolled around.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm either going to focus massively on community. I'm going to take advantage of the opportunities in crypto. And I said, I can't focus on both. Everybody was launching communities, right? That's how they were making money. I'm like, no, it's not for me right now. I need to focus on my investments. That's what I did. It was a great decision because then I had the liquidity to, during the bear market, actually focus on building the foundation of what today is one of the biggest entrepreneur networks in the entire world.
Yep.
And now, once again, my focus is Capital Club. My focus is my community, content, and obviously crypto because I'm a crypto nerd.
Crypto guy at heart.
I like it, bro. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Today, the beauty about Bitcoin, the beauty about crypto, the beauty about decentralization is the fact that you own all of it. If you put money in the bank today, the government can take it, the police can take it, the bank itself can freeze it. You don't own it. Your debit card can stop working. Visa can kick you. If you're a payment processor, they can tell you, hey, we're no longer processing your payments. There's too many middlemen that are owning your actions, and they realize the power. Bitcoin allows me to send you $10 million without asking anybody for a couple bucks. Okay, I understand if there's gas fees. I'm paying for security. I'm paying for reliability. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay percentages. I'm not going to pay and sign fees and waivers and make phone calls to move my money.
Yeah, sure, money.
People are programmed into banks being a requirement. Once you begin playing with these DeFi apps, you're like, oh shit, this is better than anything else. Look at Ton, right? Ton right now is building on Telegram. I can send you $1 million via USDT to your Telegram username instantly for zero. I pay nothing and I can send you money. Now, okay, cool. For us, we're in the West. We're chilling. I got Venmo, I got PayPal, I got Cash App. But what if you're in Africa? What if you're in the Philippines? What if you can't get a PayPal account?
Or even
What if you have to send money to a friend?
Yeah, not even that. Or even international transfers itself. You know, I've
crazy.
done transfers from UK to US. And the long procedure you got to go through and the questions you got to answer is just long, bro.
So imagine I have Telegram. You have Telegram. Hey, yo, what's your Telegram username? Ceocast. Okay, I owe you 30,000. No worries. Here you go, 30,000 USDT straight to your Telegram username.
Yeah.
What gets better than that?
No questions asked, nothing.
Nothing gets better than that. So why am I not going to use the best alternative? It might not be popular yet, but it will be. You just have to give it time.
All right, so I'm not much of a crypto nerd. So you're going to have to explain this for me, right? But some cryptos, they come out and they portray that they got some sort of utility and some sort of use case, right? Okay, why fuck that straight away?
Because most of it is bullshit, dude. Most people are lying. You know why memes are great? Because you know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting.
You know, you're getting straight a meme.
No promises, no hype, no roadmap 2045.
Yep.
No, we're going to build the next decentralized computing, blah, 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 blah. Most of the foundational stuff in crypto has been built. The tech is there. People are just trying to recreate old success. Yeah, there's going to be competitors. There's going to be things that are going to approach and roll out. But a lot of the things inside of crypto, they're scams. The teams, they're fraudulent. I try to talk to the teams that I put my money in, because with crypto, if you're a large influencer, you have a lot of followers, people will pay attention to you. So I have the open door to a lot of these projects. And sometimes I peek behind these projects that have great marketing, great ads, great graphics, incredible website, white paper that is amazing. And then I talk to the marketing guy. He has no marketing plan on user acquisition. Okay, great. You have a product, but nobody's going to use it. Why are you worth $1 billion? You know what I mean? So the scam isn't whether the thing works or not. It's what it's intrinsically worth versus what it's valued at. And all the things that are holding up that fake value, the VCs, the exchanges, the people that are holding on to all these tokens. So what you see is retail getting dumped on because retail can't get the initial bids. They can't be the initial buyers. That's why meme coins work so well, because the retail guys, they can jump in from the beginning. They can jump in from $1 million market cap.
Yep.
Here, I have to jump in at $1 billion market cap when it gets listed on Binance. And that's so the savvy players are realizing that they can make their own game.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do all the labels and all the bullshit and all. There's a lot of great projects in crypto, but most of them, project of quality or not, have no desire, no ability to acquire and retain customers. Would you prefer holding some random AI coin, or would you prefer holding Doge because you understand the momentum, the culture, the people behind it? I know it sounds crazy, but that's the world we live in. Would you prefer holding Dogecoin or the Zimbabwe dollar?
But correct me if I'm wrong. Something
Would
like
you prefer
Dogecoin.
holding the Dogecoin or the Zimbabwe dollar?
Probably Dogecoin. Yeah.
So which one's the meme coin? Which one's the shit coin?
Yeah.
Which one stores value? Which one can you trust? That's why I'm saying, like, money, the definition of money, how we think of finance, how we think about trading, how we think about crypto, everything is a big fat illusion. The only thing that is actually real amongst most of these things is probably Bitcoin. It's the realest thing that exists probably in the world when it comes to money.
I get what you're saying, right? But the thing is with meme coins, as much money as you can make from it, you still can't trust it fully because you don't know which way it's going to go. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, someone might invest 10K and then lose it.
You have most of your money in British pounds though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you trust it?
I don't.
But then why do you have it there?
Well, I don't have most of my money in my actual account. I put it away in investments, whether it be watches, whether it be property.
Okay,
and stuff
so
like
it's
that.
different stuff that's producing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that, I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Because once again, the British pound or the US dollar, you do know it's a fuck up because you know that the dev is going to continue printing tokens, right? Dollars. You know that they can at any moment freeze the ones that you have and that they can send X amount to anybody for any reason, aka Ukraine 200 billion, right? Just mint tokens and send them away. So you can't trust that currency. So now the question is, what can you trust?
I agree with you on that completely. And I believe that, you know, keeping money in your mainstream bank accounts and anything to do with government, civilization, or anything like that, forget it, right? But I don't know. I know you've just answered it why crypto is the answer, but who's to say there won't be something else that comes around and takes over that? Because
it can.
What if a crypto gets hacked or something and people's wallets get leaked, people get, I suppose, virtually robbed? Is that possible?
I mean, anything is possible, but is it probable? It's unlikely. I mean, Bitcoin, for example, has been studied and reviewed tens of thousands of times. And the reason it hasn't been hacked over the last decade is because they can't hack it. And does that mean that in the future there can't be something? I don't know. The point is, your main objective is to be with the highest form of currency, the best type of money. We've fallen under the illusion because of the dollar to think that the entire world has always been a uni-currency ecosystem. Back in the day in the United States, you would have a different currency for every different state. So everything was very fractionalized. This idea of one currency, hey, I can use dollars in Italy and I can use dollars in Hong Kong and I can use euros in Spain and then I can take the euros and use it in the US as well. This idea isn't necessarily common. Money used to be a lot more fractured. So the question now is, what's the soundest form of money in order to keep my time, my energy, and my efforts and preserve that value? And to me, I've just found it to be Bitcoin. I don't find it to be banks. I don't find it to be real estate. Once again, the real estate, you don't own it. The bank can come and seize it. The government can come and seize it. If you have a mortgage on it, it doesn't belong to you. You own a percentage of it. You have overheads, expenses, liabilities, things of this nature. I don't want that headache. And when you understand the Bitcoin of nature, finite supply, you understand that there's not more being made. You understand that there's hacks taking place all the time. The supply is being reduced. People are selling less and less of it. There's less millionaires in the world. There's more millionaires, than there are Bitcoins. So if every person that's a millionaire wants a Bitcoin, there's not enough. So scarcity is also important when it comes to understanding supply and demand and storing your value in certain assets.
So if I was to put, let's just say 20K into my account right now for crypto, how would you distribute that? And this isn't financial advice, so I don't want people.
So this is for like this bull run?
Yeah.
So for this bull run, I would say put 50% right away in Bitcoin. Don't even think about it. That's kind of, you don't play with it. You keep it. Probably put 5 in ETH, 5,000 in Ethereum. The rest I'd probably split 2,500 in Solana, and then the rest you can probably gamble. Play a little meme coin, play a little leverage.
Let's see where it gets.
Why not? But I would play the 3 essential pillars right now that are running the narratives. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF, we just got it approved recently. The Ethereum ETF, Solana ETF is upon us. Like, these things are taking place. You see maybe a 2 to 3, maybe 4x multiple across those. And then obviously if you're playing the crypto game, you got to have that little degen side. So
I've seen the ETF thing. What is it exactly? What is ETF?
So it's an exchange traded fund.
Yeah.
It's basically an institutionalized version of people pooling money together in order to buy an asset.
Okay.
So you have ETFs for everything. And now that Bitcoin is considered an asset class, it only makes sense to have an ETF for Bitcoin. But it's opened up the door to now everything being potentially considered inside of crypto. And we've had now the Ethereum ETF that's upon us. We have the potential Solana ETF. So I think this is going to start ramping up because the companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, State Street, things of this nature that operate in this capacity and build out ETFs, they collect fees from it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they hold $100 billion worth of Bitcoin if they have a 0.5% fee on that? They just have to hold it. Instead of people buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, they can just buy it on Robinhood via an ETF. It's very simple, path of least resistance. And they're there to collect the fee. It's free money. They're a business. They're going to get the free money.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, to be fair. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Trump has also endorsed Bitcoin. And this is very interesting, right? Because I think it was only a few days ago, or by the time this podcast comes out, it would have been quite a while ago, Biden has stepped down as president, or running for president, shall I say. And if Trump wins in November, then people are speculating that Bitcoin is going to fly through the roof, seen as the president of the United States is endorsing Bitcoin. What do you think of that?
I think Donald Trump realizes that crypto enthusiasts are really passionate about decentralization and the freedom of their money, and that there's tens of millions of them that you don't want to piss off. And Biden pissed them off because he's trying to fuck everybody's crypto up. He has Gary Gensler, Muppet looking motherfucker, that's trying to take over the market and ripping our shit to pieces. So people are pissed. Donald Trump says, hey, I'll let you keep your Bitcoin. Hey, I'll let you keep your decentralization. I like it. Starts adding the potentiality of the government holding some. So people want that. People will vote for it.
Andrew Tate always says one thing, right? With people who become multimillionaires through crypto and haven't really worked so much beforehand. So you might see some crypto nerds watching this podcast right now, buys crypto and becomes a multimillionaire overnight. They don't know what it takes to have hard work and dedication and go through the sacrifice and the struggle to be an entrepreneur, multimillionaire through that means. Now, what's your opinion on that there?
I mean, who cares? If you made the money, you made the money. Just don't lose it. Don't be the idiot that you're an idiot if you lose the money. If you make money, you're an idiot and you make the money. Now just get really smart. Because, I think it was one of these older kind of speakers. I forget his name. But he has this quote that he says, if you want to make $1 million, you best become a millionaire. Because if you make $1 million and you haven't developed into a millionaire, you'll lose it. Because in life, you are a reflection of your actions. Yep. You are a reflection of your thoughts.
Yep.
So if you haven't developed a millionaire mindset, if you haven't developed millionaire habits, if you haven't developed your ability to keep your money, if you make money by luck, you'll lose it. I've been there. But just because you have made money doesn't mean you're a nerd or you're a loser. Just take the money that you have and understand that if you don't level up, that money's in danger. So you level up to preserve your money. You level up as a safety net against yourself, against your own stupidity, right? Because you only lose things and you only fuck up if you don't prepare, if you don't have the knowledge. But it's not something that once you have money, you can't afford to do. You just can't be prideful. You need to understand that just because you have money doesn't mean you have everything else. And I think that that's what Andrew's talking about. It's like, hey, if you got money, that's dope. But that's not all you have, right? There's other attributes that you need to develop. And if you don't have these attributes, nobody's going to respect you, because people don't just respect people with money. Maybe a suck up, maybe somebody that's really parasitic, maybe they just want your money. But nobody just respects money in and of itself.
And do you know what's funny as well? I don't even think people at your level, for example, when you meet people who are on the same level as you, they don't even look at your money, your net worth or anything like that. They look at the different attributes. They already know that you got the money there, but it's like, what else do you bring to the table? What else does Luke Belmar bring to the table besides his money? And it's all about the knowledge and, I suppose, the insight and the attitude you have towards life and towards business is what makes you, which I suppose, Tate wasn't taking that one into account pretty much, And I was going to say as well, it's funny because I probably have made quite a bit of money over the last year. And not to say I wasn't prepared for it, but I definitely didn't see that amount coming. But I think over the past few years of talking to people and, seeing what's what, and understanding business, you do have more understanding of how to preserve the money, how to make that money last, which I suppose let's get into that one now as well. So as well as making money last, so let's just say you've made a whole load of money in crypto. What would you do to preserve it exactly?
Keep it in Bitcoin.
You would just keep it there. You wouldn't invest it in other businesses or anything like that. You just keep it.
Bitcoin is the greatest asset in human history. People just don't understand it. Dude, I'm in my 20s. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars. I'm not an idiot. People say you got lucky. I didn't get lucky, dude. I worked my ass off for a decade, but I just worked smart. People, maybe we worked the same amount. Maybe you worked harder. Okay, maybe you worked harder than me. It doesn't matter. Maybe I know something that you don't. So when I understand where the world is headed, I understand that what I need is to own my assets. So why the fuck would I have gold bars? If the world goes to shit, the world goes to shit, dude. Oh, okay. Maybe I invest in, some timepieces. Maybe I invest in some real estate. Maybe I diversify. But my understanding of wealth preservation is Bitcoin, dude. I understand it. There's a limited supply. I know how many people want it. I'm in the conversations with the guys that literally run the world and run the internet. They all fuck with Bitcoin. They're going to be the rulers of the world of the future. They all love Bitcoin. They all love crypto. So I'm within that space because that's where I operate. On the flip side, the other place where I preserve my wealth is within businesses. So I like to invest in companies. I like to put my money into companies that are going to have the appreciation of equity that then I can sell or I can exit. That's where I find it because I actually have control. Real estate is great. I just personally have never really tapped into it. Most millionaires have come from real estate. So there's no diss there. But the times are changing. There's ways to make money, and crypto and the ability to control via equity or performance of companies for cash flow is the way that I operate. It's working quite well.
So the knowledge you're giving out right now is like the knowledge you'd give in Capital Club, right? Now, is Capital Club a place for someone to get rich, or is it for the rich?
Interesting that you asked that. So Capital Club operates in a multi-dimensional funnel because I've taken into consideration aspiring entrepreneurs, developing entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs that are experienced, and they all have different needs. And because I've gone through these different phases, I know what these individuals need in their given phase. So I can't tell you how an entrepreneur that makes $100 million a year should act because I've never made $100 million in 12 months. But I can tell you how to make $20 million in a year because I've made $20 million in a year. So up in the Capital Club's proportion of growth is in direct proportion to me as a founder, my ability to create and curate experiences for that given category. So it grows with me, which is really cool. So for aspiring entrepreneurs, we have our academy. It's a digital platform, the best online ecosystem to learn how to make money online. I focus on how to make money on the internet because that's where I made my money. So whether it's stocks, crypto, social media marketing, drop shipping, e-commerce, agency, we have a plethora of experts from all around the world that have generated anywhere from 7 to 9 figures come and talk to you and teach you how to specifically master that business model. Now, for developing entrepreneurs, we have our network and our marketplace. So the marketplace is, once I start making money in business, I start realizing I have bottlenecks and that I need what? Networks and connections. I need to have access to rooms and deals. So inside of my marketplace, I give access to my developing entrepreneurs, better payment processing, better rates and discounts with different companies that are essential. So what would cost you, let's say $1,000 a month in subscriptions because I have connections in my club, now you can get it for $500 because we have better rates, because I can come in as a group.
Yeah.
There's power in numbers, and we're tens of thousands. And then you have your developing entrepreneurs that are moving to developed entrepreneurs and want to network and really want to level up. We have the network experience where I travel all over the world getting together with some of the most brilliant minds, business, entrepreneurship, finance, and they really appreciate and they cherish in-person relationships. So creating these environments, these spaces, these experiences for them is the third aspect of Capital Club. So Capital Club, the side of educational information, just one aspect because once again, a lot of these companies, we talked about investing. A lot of these companies that I invest in, they come from my circle of influence. They come from the people around me. So as somebody that wants to see people win and understands the things that are essential to win, if I could create an academy that helps people understand the right mindset, understand the best business models, and curates them into being a good entrepreneur, it then does what for me? It increases my odds of what? Success if I invest into that individual because I know their formation.
Yeah.
So if I can invest in your formation, then it's a lot easier to invest in your company because I know what you're made of.
Yeah.
Because you're investing in people. You're not investing in just products and ideas.
Yeah, you meet the people impart your
So I've created the entire funnel process from beginning to end. The academy allows me to fund the operations of the club. The networking event allows me to fund the network events in and of themselves. And I make my money off of my investments. And as the owner of the club, it gives me the ability to operate a little bit outside of it. So it's not kind of like other people that live off of the revenue of that club. That's not how I work. I make my money outside of it. So the club kind of operates as its own ecosystem. Capital Club is incredible.
So if you give me an example, you've got a meet up this week in London, right? If I was to come, what would I expect?
So I'll give you an example, something that was publicly portrayed. So I'm holding a Capital Club event in Spain.
Yeah.
Right. I have the Lior, one of the co-founders of AutoDS, one of the biggest dropshipping softwares out there, says, hey, Luke, I want to come over to the event. Hey, no worries. Send you the invoice. See you in Spain. Jordan Welch calls me. Hey, I want to come to Capital Club. Okay, no worries. Send you the wire details. Be here at this location at this time. They don't know anything. They don't know the event, who's speaking, where it's at. Just show up in this place at this time. This is the week. 6 months later, they show up. Networking, 100 entrepreneurs, 5-star restaurants, 5-star hotels, biohacking experience, entrepreneurs coming up from all over the world. These two guys meet, talking. They're like, hey, you know what? Jordan, you have a great company. Well, I have a lot of money, AutoDS. Well, what if I buy your company? So from coming together, one receives customers and influence. The other one gets a buyout. So Capital Club creates the ability for you to do business, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, it's the middle party.
It's all about the ROI. You come to Capital Club, you have massive ROI.
Yeah.
That's all I think about. What's the ROI of people inside of Capital Club? If somebody gives me $1,000, I'm thinking, how can they get $10,000 worth of real tangible value? Not some intrinsic, hey, this is worth 997. No. Real, valuable, tangible results. So we see acquisitions take place. We see buyouts. We see business partnerships take place. We see people make tens of thousands of dollars with new business models. We see people all the way from the beginning learning how to make their first $1,000. It's from zero to hero, from peasant to king. Capital Club is
best
phenomenal.
Yeah, best way to do it. So you're big on biohacking. Explain what biohacking is, bro.
So biohacking is your ability to reverse engineer life. Bio means life. Hacking through it is your ability to figure out the most optimal ways to experience life. So for example, if you have some sort of self-awareness, you would realize that if you eat carbs late at night, the next morning you're going to feel slow, lethargic, heavy. So maybe you stop eating at 6 p.m. So the biohacker says, hey, you know what? After 6 p.m. or intermittent fasting, I'm not going to eat any more food because it fucks up my diet. It fucks up my digestive system. It doesn't let me sleep well. It fucks up my sleep. Because they track their sleep, because they track their performance, because they care.
Yeah.
So you have different extremes of biohacking. You have simple things like people talking about sauna, red light therapy exposure, cold plunge, organic food, no tap water. These are the basic essentials. What used to be common is now called biohacking, but it's not really biohacking. It's just living a healthy lifestyle. I haven't gotten into the Brian Johnson level of putting things on my brain and injecting myself with who knows what sort of stem cells. My objective is very healthy lifestyle. So what I eat, when I sleep, stress levels, sun exposure, red light therapy, sauna, no garbage processed foods, and no sugars, reducing and removing those, and just living a overall wellness lifestyle, a lot of mobility, a lot of flexibility. I still got to get some of my gains, but maybe part 3 of the pod we'll run it.
Yeah, get the gains in. Yeah. Now, do you know what though? It's not a lot of people understand that life of, we understand being healthy, but the way it improves your life, the way it makes you feel about life is a completely different aura.
It makes you feel great.
Yeah. You mentioned towards the beginning of this podcast that, I think you were having a chat with one of your friends, and if you want to potentially take a couple of years off just to go traveling around the world and all of that, is that a stage you're in life right now? You've made the money and now you just want to sit back and explore the world? Because after this you're going to where, you said?
So this is a business trip, but London, Dubai, Malaysia, Taiwan, Singapore, Cambodia, and then back west. I just like traveling, but this is a business trip.
But to some extent there as well, you can kind of class all these places as business trips.
Yes, but it's all about productivity, right?
Yeah.
It's all about productivity. So for example, I'm here in London for 1 week. I've done 7 podcasts.
Oh, damn. Okay, you've done a lot.
Yeah. So when's the next time I'm going to be in sunny London during a summer? it's not going to take place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to come during the best time. I'm going to take advantage of it. So what I like to do is be highly productive when I go and when I travel. And at the end of the day, it was just an example. I was talking with buddies, and it's, at what point is enough enough? At what point is your priority to no longer be a master of money? Maybe you want to master health, or maybe you want to master relationships, or maybe you want to master a specific skill set. And maybe it's not going to be ultra profitable, but that's what you want to do. If you have money, it's going to give you the freedom to do that. Most people's problems are self-induced. Their wounds are self-inflicted. The difficulties and problems that they have in life is because they cause them. And once you realize that you can reverse engineer these things, that you're not bound by your past bad decisions, that you can fix the problems in your life, that you're not identified and you're not determined by your past bad behaviors, that you can change in the present and you can change in the future, you start making better decisions. And if you make better decisions, you'll have a better life.
Fairs. So you've done 7 podcasts over the past, how many days you been there?
5 days.
You're the master of online distribution, getting the views in, getting everything, getting your message out there, right? So just to give me an example, those 7 podcasts, how many views in total across different platforms do you estimate it will bring you?
I mean, we'll run it for a couple years. Yeah. We'll run the same clips for a couple years. So each clip should be getting tens of thousands of views. Every podcast will get tens of thousands of views.
Yeah.
Because the thing about distribution and the thing about content, and the reason I'm actually doing it the way that I'm doing it with scarcity, is because the content has more shelf life than if you didn't have distribution. Back in the day, prior to the For You page and the Explore page, where people weren't competing for attention and swipes, you would have to compete via thumbnail. Mm-hmm. And that was the way that you would hook people. That was your For You page. However, the algorithm wasn't as good and wasn't as refined for new videos and new content and new pages. So the ability to scale vertically through multiple pages was different. If I wanted to scale horizontally today with a lot of accounts, I could do it. Back in the day, if I wanted to have multiple YouTube channels, I would have multiple YouTube channels, maybe in different languages, Mr. Beast level.
Yep. But
I'm still bound by what the algorithm pushing me, the thumbnail retention rate, a lot of these different things that mass distribution allows you to do. What? Bypass. One of the things that lets you bypass is the amount of videos that you have to make, because the content has so much more shelf life. Once you have a winning proven video, all you have to do is repurpose it multiple times. So we'll probably repurpose this podcast 2 years, maybe 3 years, till we've understood that it potentially has its shelf life exhausted, and then we'll create more content. Yeah, tens of millions per podcast, for sure.
Who inspires you in terms of content? When it comes to mass distribution and creating quality content, who inspires you?
My own team. My team's back here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, my G's are right here with me. Yeah, my secret weapons.
What about in life in general? Who inspires you? Who do you look up to and be like, do you know, I like what they've done, I want to kind of recreate? Could be anyone in a point of period of history. Anyone.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Why?
I mean, a master of multiple areas of life. Mastered philosophy, mastered mathematics, anatomy, architecture, physics, polymath. A polymath is a master of several skills. So when I look at somebody that I admire, I want to look at their life, and I want to be awed by the level of mastery that they've achieved in different aspects of reality. So when this guy's out here building some of the most incredible pieces of architecture that we've seen, puts together some of the most incredible art pieces that we've ever admired, and then starts talking about human anatomy and astrology and math, and you're like, whoa, this guy's a fucking G. And you begin to realize that this guy spent different amounts of time focused on different skills. He wasn't just focused unilaterally on one aspect of life. And the more dimensional and broad that you become, the more you're able to experience different aspects of reality. Somebody that can play a piano well will experience the moment of playing the piano and that reality in a way that nobody ever that plays another instrument or that doesn't play any instrument will experience, because a certain action will result in a certain experience or feeling, which is how you live life. When you jump out of a plane, you can't explain it.
That's what you wanted to make me do last time.
Yeah, you can't explain it. You just jump out of a fucking plane, and unless you jump from a plane, you don't know what it feels like. So in life, it's about mastering experiences, about experiencing different things. So when I look at somebody like Leonardo da Vinci, who's tried different things, mastered different things, it inspires me to master different areas of my life that collectively are going to make me a better person.
Who do you think Luke Belmar is going to be in 10 years' time, 15 years' time?
Luke Belmar, bro. Luke Belmar 2.0.
2.0.
Better version.
Where do you think you're going to be? Sitting on the beach, retired, chilled out?
Who knows?
With the missus?
Who knows? I mean, I would like to think that I'm working on some sort of nonprofit work, that I'm working on something that's driven by purpose. You can enjoy retirement. You can enjoy, the leisure life for only so long before it begins to kind of rot you. You have to have something that drives you, something that wakes you up in the morning. This hedonistic lifestyle of just like indulgence and spending and indulging in different habits or in different addictions and thinking that is the end all be all, you're just a slave to a different thing. So Luke Belmar 10, 20 years from now, I don't know, but just leveling up, bro. Hopefully better than today. More jacked, hopefully.
More jacked, And what's your message to the world?
My message to the world is a very simple one. You need to treat yourself with kindness and grace, understanding that this is the first time you've played this game, understanding that you're going to make mistakes and that mistakes are maybe 70, 80% of life, and that you're just figuring it out. Focus on making small mistakes. Don't make irreversible mistakes, like having a kid outside of marriage or, getting into credit card debt that you shouldn't be getting into, because these irreversible mistakes are things that you're going to have to carry and decisions that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. The point is, if you want to level up in life, you need to focus on reducing liabilities and increasing your odds of winning. Good habits, good relationships, positive mindset, positive affirmations, things that elevate your consciousness and your mindset. And treat yourself with kindness, grace, and respect, because it's the first time that you're experiencing this game. Once you treat yourself that way and you understand that failure isn't a bad thing, failure is just an inevitable part of the process, you just continue attempting and attempting and attempting, and through those attempts, you become a master of life.
How do you not get phased from when you do fail? Because everyone's bound to fail in life. How do you bounce back from failure?
Resilience. Remember that we talked about the key determining factors of somebody that's going to be successful versus somebody that's not successful beyond education. It's resilience and stress tolerance.
True.
Your ability to handle stress and your ability to bounce back. Resilience is your ability to bounce back. Dude, how many times, you know this. Anytime you get to the next level, you feel the same pressure that you felt when you were at a lower level with less skills.
Yeah.
All you are is leveling up. You're going to have to feel pain before you feel pleasure. You're going to have to feel, weak before you feel strong. You're going to have to feel dumb before you feel smart. It's just the name of the game.
Yeah, fairs. Well, Luke, I want to appreciate you for coming on the podcast, bro. And if people want to find you on socials, where can they do so?
Well, first of all, #undeniable in the comment section. If you want to live an undeniable life, when somebody looks at you, they say, this is a real G motherfucker, bro. This is the real deal. #undeniable, at Luke Belmar and all the socials. Brother, thanks for having me. Hopefully next time in Miami.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm coming Miami in November. You told me to come last time in November.
Maybe part 3 on the yacht.
Sick. Let's do it.
Hey, thank you, brother.
That's going to be quite sick, Sweet ass. Cool. Guys, make sure you subscribe, like, share. If you found value in this episode, make sure you share it with a friend. Until then, I'll see you lot in the next episode of Ceocast next Sunday. Peace. Sweet as. Anything else, bro?
Good time?
Yeah, good time. Good shit.
Nice one.
Yeah?
Nice. Very nice. Beautiful. Really
Beautiful.
interesting. That was great clips.
Yeah? Great clips.
Yeah.
When the content guy says, yeah, great clips, we just know it's a good one.